So I've always said I've never met a thrift store I didn't like, but
the mountains are calling and we must go. And the antique malls and the thrift stores and the vintage shops. Just sit back and enjoy the ride as we thrift our way through the land of Dolly and the Smoky Mountains. It's gonna be a fun one.
This is a pretty big Goodwill. Here's the bags. They're $4.99 each, which is great. There's just not a huge selection. Maybe there'll be more throughout the store. Dresses are $6.99. That's kind of just this rack here. This is like a velvet. 15 is good for that. And they have a plus size rack. It's not a ton, but they have pulled some things, which is nice. Oh, look at that. They have a vintage labeled section, but there was actually like 2 things in it that were vintage and the rest were like very clearly modern pieces. So, but I am seeing some stuff like scattered throughout, so I kind of like that stuff, vintage stuff isn't pulled and marked up. So still want to take a look around and see what else I find. They have like a big section over here for men's stuff, so I'm gonna take a look, but it is pretty lightly stocked, if you can tell. There's a lot of empty racks. Okay, what do we think of this lamp? Is it ugly cool? I think it's ugly cool. I like how it has orange in it. It's $8.99. ugly cool. I was considering this one, little 90s blouse, and it fit me, and it is a sale tag, so I think it's like $2.50, but I don't know, didn't love it, so I'm gonna leave it, and I put it in the vintage section since they don't have very much actual vintage over here. Whole shoe section, and they're individually priced. These are marked at $1. These are vintage Skechers. These are 10. Been looking for some corduroy. This is a little Ralph Lauren corduroy skirt. A nice brown. It's got pockets, and it's $5. Cute. I like some corduroy leggings, kind of stretchy pockets. Some blue corduroy, purple. Red, and the pants are $4. This is really cute. Here's the men's side.
No, I don't want to go.
I don't know what I'm getting yet, but here's everything I'm considering. I'm impressed with this thrift store. They had a fun selection and they had, I think, as much inventory as the Goodwill that we went to in the same town that was a much larger space but was not stocked up. I feel like they even had more stuff here. I liked the selection here even better, but anyway, great pricing too overall, although it's pretty much flat rate pricing, so if you can grab like sale days or something like that, you can really get some deals, but overall like everything at like flat rate pricing is pretty fair, so this was a good stop.
All shoplifters are being watched by God.
This is a really large store. It's definitely a good place to come for furniture and home decor. This whole section behind me is furniture, used furniture, and then they have a ton of new furniture and even like bathroom fixtures like sinks and kitchen and bathroom sinks. And right now they have a sale that's 20% off their prices. So the sofas were like $200 to $900 for the really large ones for brand new items, which is really good. They have a lot of bottoms here, and I'm impressed with like the plus size section. This is just plus size skirts, plus size bottoms, and everything is going up to like size 24. And then there's even more like mixed in with this section back here. So a lot of good plus size bottoms, which is not very common to see in a thrift store. Look at this fancy beaded dress. $30. Could be a fun costume or something. Here's some of the women's tops that I found. Vintage Express. I think this would be really fun to style. It's like a neon satin. This has some cute like saturated colors in it. I know it's hard to see on camera. There we go. I thought this was cute, a little crop sweater. There is the price color code. However, I haven't seen anything tagged, so I'm still not quite sure how it works. One of those fun, like bomber track jackets with a crazy pattern from Leconte. 10 half off. So 5, I guess. And a leather blazer. That's pretty cute. And it's on sale for half. Only 30? It's 30 or 15. I don't know. And I thought this blouse was really cute. I'm assuming it's vintage based on the style. It's got a navy collar, but the tag is cut out. So I don't know. But there's a little gold button detail. But it didn't fit me, so we'll leave it. I found this purse, which is tagged for $5 and looks like a little vintage purse, but I didn't find anything else, and this was kind of like a maybe. So I think it's cool, but I'll probably leave it. I just not 100% on that. So yeah, we're actually leaving empty-handed from here, but it was fun to look at. They have a big selection, so I think it's like a fun place to shop, and like they probably have a little something for everybody, and especially the furniture was really good.
So I've always said I've never met a thrift store I didn't like, but I feel like this is just an off day for that Goodwill. Obviously their stock was a little bit light, and that's not their fault. I wish I had donations that I had brought to that store, but I had already given mine away. Obviously, I'm part of the problem. I'd love to go back there another time and give it another shot. The one thing I did find funny, as I mentioned in the store, and I'm not saying this to be mean or to sound like a vintage snob, but they had a vintage labeled section, and when you started flipping through, it was clearly a lot of modern pieces. And I think their definition of vintage was just like anything that was a little bit quirky. So it was like funky pattern stuff or a funky collar. So I'm not sure what happened there. And it doesn't really matter. The only time that it's really important, I think, to be clear on your definition of vintage is when you are selling or purchasing vintage, because the term inherently carries a lot more value for that piece if something is vintage. And in this case, the store had not marked up anything in that section. It wasn't like they were charging more because they thought they were vintage. So again, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what definition they're using. I just thought it gave me a little bit of a chuckle because I was like, not quite. And then unfortunately, I'm also gonna joke about the Honey Rock thrift store, which was lovely. Like, that was a fantastic thrift store. The thing that I thought was funny was trying to figure out the pricing. It was just so confusing to me. And to be fair, I never asked. I didn't ask and get clarification, and that would have been easy enough to do. To me, it is not as important for a thrift store to have like super clear signage and pricing. As long as their staff is friendly, that's way more important, because it's easy enough to just ask and clarify like what the situation is. However, it was funny because they had a sign up that was like a color-coded system, but then a lot of the stuff didn't even have tags, and then the stuff that didn't have a color on it that matched the signage. So maybe it was an old sign. And then I found the piece that said like 10 half off. So it's like, is that 5 then? Maybe they just want you to know that it's on sale. And then the other one said half, only 30. And I was like, does that mean it's 30 then? So it was just so funny how conflicting and like confusing the signage ended up being. Anyway, again, it doesn't matter. It's just, I'm not saying it to be mean-spirited. I just thought it was a little bit funny. The store I really loved through and through was that Leconte hospital thrift store. I always love like a hospital or auxiliary thrift store usually. I feel like they always get really good donations, at least the stuff I like to see. I love their selection. I thought their pricing was more than fair, and walked away with a number of things from there. So I'm gonna show you my haul here in a second, and I'll timestamp things down below. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead and click on the timestamps. But first, I was going to tell you, if you're interested about the more like vloggy travel portion of the trip, we found the coolest little roadside attraction in Northeast Tennessee, and it is a dinosaur park, and it's called Backyard Terrors Dinosaur Park, I believe. This is a free, like run by donation only roadside attraction that is exactly what it sounds like. A bunch of life-size dinosaur models a la Jurassic Park. Someone who wanted to be a paleontologist, and then for a couple of like medical personal reasons, it didn't work out. And then this person wanted to build sets like Jurassic Park, and then that didn't work out because the company they worked for went under. So anyway, like the dream was not coming true for this person, so they were just like, I'm gonna build it myself in my own backyard, and that's what they did. It is so cool. I thought the story behind it was so wholesome and amazing and heartwarming that this person like just made their dream happen. So I had to share with you because we really had a lot of fun at this place. And other than that, we made our way into downtown Knoxville and walked around there. What a cool, beautiful downtown area they have. It's my first time in that city. And I'll have a couple more thrift related stops in Knoxville to talk about in the next video. So let me show you my haul. So starting with that Goodwill in Sevierville, I did find a couple of things, but in the end put everything back basically. That one blouse that I showed you, I thought was cute, but it was just one of those things where sometimes when you're thrifting and you don't find very many things, other things that aren't as good start to look better. And if you're like have the mentality that you want to find something, then maybe you start to like settle for things that just aren't wowing you as much. So I decided at the end of the thrift that that was the case, that it was like, oh, this is not that great. It's just a matter of like, oh, I found something. And then you guys saw that plus size Looney Tunes denim, and I thought that was really cute. But when I got up to the register and inspected it, it had a ton of like stains and bleach spots. And I know you can DIY stuff like that and make it look more intentionally bleach stained, but I just decided I didn't want to do it and I should leave it for somebody else who would be excited to do it. It's not something that's my personal style, so it would have been a purchase to resell for somebody who would see it on here and be like, oh, why didn't you get that? So I do keep that in mind, but that just wasn't the particular item that day. The only thing I ended up getting was this little bowl. It is, I think, just a decorative bowl, like not a food bowl, made in Hong Kong. And I don't know much about pottery or anything, but I just loved the colors in this. And I have been keeping it in my living room just to like add a pop of color in there. And it's like a good little catch-all tray. Like I put my car keys in there and stuff like that. And I got this for $2.99. I got this sweater. This is like a great oversized men's sweater with a fun pattern. It actually has some really great colors in it too. There's like a little bit of a teal and like a dark red and then like kind of a goldish tan at the top. But it's really subtle, so it feels kind of neutral, and like the pattern is the loud thing. But anyway, love an oversized sweatshirt like this. I wish it was 100% cotton, but it's like really soft for an acrylic, so I thought I would go for it. I think this is a really cute winter piece. I do have another one like it, so I'm considering also putting this in my Galaxy holiday sale. So this video will come out after that anyway, so I'll have decided by the time you see this. And there's no tag in this one. I also got this adorable little Scotty printed sweater. It's got also little hearts on it, and yeah, I don't know, something about like the little Scotty dogs I think is so kind of classic and cute. Do you guys know what I mean? It reminds me a lot of the like very preppy styles that I saw in the 80s growing up. And that also has like argyle in it. Like it really is just like preppy and cute. And it's a pretty nice little cotton blend sweater too. And again, this is actually another item that I thought would be amazing in my holiday collection for the Galaxy Live sale, because I have another Scotty cardigan that I was gonna put up for sale. But anyway, this is not really a plug for that sale because it already happened by the time this video comes out, but I don't think I'm gonna be keeping and wearing this one. And another item I got to give away, this sweatshirt, Kentucky Wildcats. I had a friend on here recently who saw me pass up a vintage Kentucky sweatshirt at a different thrift store, and they said that they really wanted something like that, so I found another one for them and sent them a message on Instagram to see if I should pick it up. So this is actually gonna be for my friend Jessica. But these Lee made sweatshirts are like so nice and high quality and like a little bit thicker. You know, I can't resist like a vintage sweatshirt in general, but I gotta say that these are like particularly good quality. Another sweatshirt that I think will be in my holiday sale, and it's got these like winter birds on it. It's just like a little bit snug on me, so I considered if I would wear it or not, but I think I'm gonna see if somebody else wants it like for the holiday season. No tag here. Now this sweatshirt is 100% for me. America's Highway. It's got a motorcycle with some like sick lightning behind it. I had this in my cart, and there was like this younger 20-something guy who was kind of following me around the thrift store, and then I realized he came up and actually asked to see this sweatshirt. And that's why he did the thing where like you see something you want in somebody else's cart, and so you kind of stalk them and see if they're gonna leave it or not. But he actually came up to see the sweatshirt, so I chatted with him, and like I would have let him have it, but he said that he really didn't actually want it, he just wanted to see it. So I think he was being polite, but I'm glad because I really wanted this sweatshirt for myself. And yeah, I'm not shocked that I have similar taste to like a 20-something guy. Seems about right. This shirt is really interesting. This is like a Bob Mackie Barbie collab, and it is a vintage t-shirt. And down here it says collectible promotions, and there's a P.O. box address. I looked it up, and this was like a collectible item, and it seems like they're kind of rare because I only found like one other one on the internet. So since you know I'm obsessed with collecting vintage t-shirts, I had to get this one. And that same thrift store had a lot of really cute home decor items. I ended up getting these two fridge magnets. They're just like pieces of wood with magnets glued onto the back, and they have little dogs painted on them. So I thought they were adorable. Like the color scheme makes them look extra vintage to me. And so yeah, I thought these would be a fun takeaway to put on my fridge at home. And they were $1 a piece. Oh, and then as you know, I didn't end up getting anything from the Honey Rock thrift store, so that was it. One more quick thing to share with you about this channel. I am working on some year-end content. I love to pull together a best of and worst of thrifting fails video for the end of the year. And if you caught those videos last year, you know what I'm talking about. I'm working on that again. And something new for this year is I am soliciting submissions from viewers like you. If you want to share with me your best thrift finds of the year, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram or an email with photos and or short videos that showcase your item. You don't have to include yourself in the video if you don't want to. Take a selfie or show just the item, it's up to you. But by sharing, you would be giving me permission to use that in my best of video because I wanna feature some of your best finds of the year as well. Tell me a little bit about your item. If there's a short story behind how you found it, that'd be good to know. And you could be featured in my best of 2021 video. And thank you so much in advance. The series continues with new episodes every Sunday and Thursday, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'll see you in the next one.